Alright there, geezer, it's Jules here from FGS, home of the Future Game Show, and you know what? Today I want to talk to you, yes you my friend, about video game spin-offs. Now sometimes a video game spin-off can be so good that it not only revitalizes a flagging franchise, but even can sometimes be better than the original game itself. I mean, look at the Persona series, look at bloody Metal Gear Rising, look at f***ing Gwent over there. I mean, these games are amazing, but unfortunately, sometimes wanton experimentation can end up with, well, a fleshy and stale mass of flab. And that's what we're here to talk about today. Oh, I feel a bit sick after thinking about that image. And you know what? It's likely that the 10 video game spin-offs that I'll be covering today will do the same to you, because they are certifiably stanky. So let's take a look. As I'm Jules, this is FGS, and these are 10 video game spin-offs that publishers want to forget. Number 10, Pokémon Dash. Now, who amongst us hasn't looked out of the window, sighed deeply, and wished that they could be transported to the world of Pokémon? Life just seems better in this world of lovable characters, temperatures that always allow for comfy shorts, and of course legalized animal fighting, which sees you robbing your beaten opponents of their items and monies. Yet one game sure to get your hackles up is Pokémon Dash, a little-known spin-off title from Game Freak's girthy library that landed on the DS in 2004. And when I say that, I mean it hit the ground with such force that it snapped its legs immediately and then tried to do a little rehearsed dance to the disgust of absolutely everyone. Now, the premise here was as simple as it was pointless, for it asked you to use the stylus to draw a racing line for Pikachu and pals to follow as they sprinted around tracks to the finish line. Now, on paper, this sounds pretty intriguing, as the title could have lent into the tech 100% and given us crazy shapes to draw or challenges to leap over or slide around. Yet note, my friend, that I said could have, because Pokémon Dash instead ran to the hills with your money and left you swiping right in a straight line over and over again like a desperate greasy teen on Tinder. It was, in essence, my friend, the purest of utter bollocks. It turned you into a mindless drone with its just complete asinine gameplay, and it didn't even look good. Come on. Number 9, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. Now, there are two types of Mortal Kombat fans: those that appreciate that Special Forces is the worst Mortal Kombat game ever, and those that disagree, who are wrong. Inexplicably ditching this series' hook of, you know, being a fighting game, in this place for a generico 3D beat-em-up starring nobody's favourite Mortal Kombat character, Jax. And remember, before you come at me with those pitchforks and flames, Jax at this point in time did not have anything more of a personality than "these metal hands I have." He's gone on to do great things, but right here, nah. Anyway, back on track, Special Forces was simply a snoozy reminder of everything that people loved about the series, almost all of which were absent here. From the tedious combat, with a K of course, to the flat, lifeless level design and flavourless mush of a story, it's no surprise that all that Special Forces was the result of serious developmental strife, with large swathes of developer Midway's staff quitting the studio mid-production. In fact, you know what? Mid-production is what you can actually term this cynical cash grab, because it was very middle of the road, and it was a game that was produced. It was a varnished turd. I'm just glad that things got back on track with Deadly Alliance. Let's all just be grateful for that, eh? Number 8, Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival. Now I ask you, my friend, is it possible to associate anything other than joy with the likes of the Animal Crossing franchise? Well, apart from being the perfect debt simulator, the world thought no, but it turned out that no was also a no, which made it a yes that dropped in 2015. What am I saying? What I'm trying to say is that 2015's Amiibo Festival stank like a horse's arse. Amiibo Festival is a virtual board game superficially reminiscent of Mario Party that requires the use of Amiibos, Nintendo's plastic toy-to-life figurines that had likely been collecting dust in your sock drawer for years at this point in time. Now, between the clunky Amiibo integration and utterly charmless gameplay, this becomes the rarest of Animal Crossing experiences. One that has been dubbed relaxing, but only in the sense that it is about to send you into a f***ing coma as you lose consciousness. This game wishes that it were a mere Mario Party ripoff, because at least then it would have had charming minigames and a fun multiplayer component, but instead it is a dull product with a capital P designed to primarily fill up kids' bedrooms with more pointless plastic tat. Number 7, Umbrella Corps. Now, Capcom has certainly been hedging their bets on a ton of Resident Evil spin-offs, ranging from the underground classics that were the Outbreak Files and the outstanding Resident Evil Revelations 2 to, well, Umbrella Corps. are. Now, Capcom curled out this multiplayer tactical shooter in 2016, which smacked of an attempt to capitalize on the success of Call of Duty, while seemingly ignoring the fact that the series' previous squad-based multiplayer shooter, Operation Raccoon City, came and went without making a dent. But Umbrella Corps was so much worse than this. Without the basic Resident Evil iconography, it'd be impossible to see this as anything but a generic multiplayer shooter, given the utter lack of personality it displays otherwise. The maps, characters, weapons, and overall gameplay loop were just nothing. And you know what? It's this aspect that makes this game really hard to critique, because there's just nothing to hold on to. It's like a ghost that you just pass your way through. I mean, is it any wonder that the player base came and went in the space of a sneezing fit? So if you ever find yourself looking over the Resident Evil back catalogue and spot this game, just don't. Just don't. Ever. You have been warned. Number 6. Hotel Mario. I tell you what, mate, if you're a fan of closing doors in real life and want to carry this heady experience on into the video game medium, then I tell you what, mate. Hotel Mario is for you, you mad Ed. Closed doors, then Mario Hotel. Oh, it's Hotel Mario, isn't it? F you, Jules. If I want to take that heady experience, oh, f you, microphone too. Released exclusively for the Philips CDI back in 1994, Hotel Mario is a puzzle game where, as Mario, players must try to rescue Princess Peach by visiting all the hotels in the Mushroom Kingdom and I can't believe that I'm saying this, closing all the doors on a given stage. Locking women in rooms. Classic Mario. Fuck's sake, lads. It's a gameplay loop tedious enough to embarrass even the most low-effort mobile games nowadays. When combined with unresponsive controls and retina-scarringly nightmarish animated cutscenes that feature a Mario actor who sounds more like Krusty the fucking Clown, no less.
All toasters, toast, toast.
It leaves one questioning how the brand-conscious Nintendo ever signed off on this. In the very least, I guess, by stranding Hotel Mario on a niche platform which died not too long after the game's release, Nintendo has prevented all but the most committed enthusiasts from experiencing this uncanny wrongfulness for themselves. But we never forget, Nintendo. We never forget. Number 5. Tony Hawk Ride. Now, Tony Hawk Ride is what you get when a publisher looks over an IP copyright that's about to expire and then goes, well, we better make something then. By the late 2000s, the hit skateboarding franchise's time had come and gone, and with sales firmly on the decline, Activision sought to give Tony Hawk the Guitar Hero treatment. And no, I don't mean that they were going to build a game with a killer soundtrack. No, what I actually mean is that they tried to sell you a game with a lump of plastic that looked like a Year 7's design and tech project. God damn, this thing was ugly. Tony Hawk Ride, released in 2009, asked players to fork out 100 squiddly diddly doos for both the game and the accompanying skateboard peripheral, which used motion sensing tech to translate the player's movements into on-screen actions. And by motion sensing tech, what I really mean is did it because this was like riding a coma patient down the street for how unresponsive it was and how wrong it felt to do. Despite Ride underperforming at retail, Activision nevertheless returned with a follow-up less than a year later, Tony Hawk Shred, which is ironically exactly what the game did to the remaining goodwill the series still held, tearing it to pieces and throwing it up into the air with glee. Shred's commercial failure, however, resulted in Activision killing the gimmicky Tony Hawk spin-offs for good, even if somehow they were less shambolic than Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. And trust me, I don't want to think about that anymore. I don't. It's going to make me cry. Number 4, Metal Gear Survive. And now we turn to Metal Gear Survive, a game that I'm pretty sure a lot of you saw coming on this list, but one that really does need to still be detailed because this is Konami at their most... There's no other better way to describe this. They're most mean. For what better term than mean is there to describe a publisher squirting out this tepid piss and then tying it to the grandiose and hugely popular Metal Gear Solid franchise in a desperate attempt to claw back some money from die-hard fans? Plus, let's not forget that this spin-off game, which was a co-op zombie survival title, was trying to tie itself to a subterfuge, an espionage franchise. That will never not be baffling to me. And things didn't get much sunnier when the game was finally released to mediocre reviews, citing its generic survival gameplay and lack of personality compared to the Kojima-produced titles. But most damningly of all but the most insatiable Metal Gear fans largely rejected it, causing it to flop at retail. And tellingly, Konami hasn't produced a Metal Gear Solid title since, and instead is kind of coasting on the glory days by remaking Metal Gear Solid 3. To be honest, I just hope they do a fantastic job here. I want them to get a win. Because Lord knows they need it. I didn't say that. Where'd you hear that from? Number 3, Sonic Shuffle. Now, the popular assertion that Sonic is perpetually living in Mario's shadow isn't exactly aided by the fact that Sega took one look at the Mario Party titles and tried to produce their own knockoff, even enlisting Mario Party developer Hudson Soft to help polish the game. And Sonic Shuffle was released for the Dreamcast in 2000 and saw up to 4 players taking part in a virtual board game filled with competitive minigames. And while a Sonic-themed Mario Party could have been fun, there was just one huge problem that hampered the entire experience. It wasn't. It wasn't fun at all, and it wasn't helped by the fact that the AI in this game was just so it was so unfair. It's a cheater. It's a dirty cheater. Tommy, can you bring on some visual form of the AI? I'm going to punch it in the top of the goddamn head. You ready? Ready? That's for all of the Sonic fans out there. Also a weird bunch. Oh yeah, and also the brutal loading times ensured that this was simply dead on arrival. For a game that was clearly designed to be light, goofy fun between friends, it is staggering how soul-destroyingly tedious this thing was. Now, there have certainly been worse Sonic games released over the years. Tommy, can you please bring up the rather heavy list of mediocre Sonic games? Oh, it's nearly all of them. But few have so egregiously bungled such an easy win of a concept. Number 2, Bomberman Act 0. So, Bomberman Act 0 is kind of like sitting down to eat your favourite meal at a restaurant, but finding out your favourite dish has been replaced by an actual garbage bag full of used kebab meats and soiled nappies. Enjoy.
Wow, that is delicious.
Now, at some point in time, a meeting took place at Hudson Soft, which probably went a little like this. And I'm legally required here at this point here to say it probably went nothing like this, but still. Welcome to the theatre of the mind.
Alright, gang, we need a new Bomberman game. Sales are down, but anxiety is high.
Well, what about if we approach the Western market with a game that's more realistic?
Interesting, I love that idea. How do you propose we go about?
And by realistic, what I actually mean is that we turn all of the characters into BDSM leather worshippers, we smear a load of dirt and grime and Vaseline onto the camera lens and just muddy up those aesthetics real nice, and also we make the loading time so agonizingly long that you can feel your cells dying.
Oh, that sounds awful.
I know, but at least this way we can call our game mature, which I know you love as a publisher, because that means that little kids that are officially too young to play this game will beg their parents to get it for them and increase sales.
Oh, that sounds morally questionable, is what I'd say if I weren't a video game publisher who just wanted to make some cash. Get this game to print.
Cheers, thanks, Dad. Thank you. Yes, I know I'm great. Thank you very much. Yep. I hate this game, by the way. And number 1, Soul Calibur Legends. Now, Nintendo's Wii console truly was the Wild West of gaming. Thanks to its huge install base, publishers and devs all fought tooth and claw to get projects onto this system. And because of its motion control focus and diminutive specs, it meant that a lot of these titles had to get pretty experimental. And Bandai Namco definitely experimented when it came to Soul Calibur Legends, because they experimented with what it's like to nearly tank an absolutely amazing franchise. Legends was a game looking to do everything differently, in that it had a single-player campaign, switched the action from side-on fighting to 3D adventuring, and for some reason that will forever baffle me, cut the competitive multiplayer aspect entirely. I wonder if this game did well commercially. I wonder if the fans who had been brought up on exactly the opposite to this enjoyed this game. It crashed, it burned, and while some of its action was at least competent, there was just no staying power for a title looking to change the world in such humdrum ways. And there we go, my friends. Those were 10 video game spin-offs that publishers definitely want to forget. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comment section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me on the social medias at RetroJ, but the O is a 0 for both Twitter and Instagram, and I am Egg Daddy Jules over on TikTok. He says, pausing thinking, is Tommy... Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I'm over there on TikTok. Go follow me, or don't. I don't really mind. It's fine. But you should definitely go follow Tommy over here. He's flipped it again. He's done something weird with it this time around, doesn't he? Because he's such a good editor. He's such a good lad. Go support him. Show him some love. And also, while you're at it, show yourself some love as well, my friend, because you deserve the best things in life, like love, happiness, and success. And do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise. You are a massive legend. I want you to achieve your life goals. So go out there and smash them, my friends. I believe in you. As always, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye. I've been up since 5 this morning. I'm on my 3rd coffee. I'm losing my fucking mind, Tommy.